Hi! So today what I plan to do is touch up my roots. You can see that they've grown out a little bit. There's a little bit of some orange from when I did the bleach bath. And so I'm going to figure out a plan for the back of my head, which is going to be the trickiest part, and then move forward to the front. I do want to keep the darker root. I really like the way it looks. I almost, wouldn't be ready to touch up the roots yet, but because I'm new to doing this, and I've heard that if you let the roots grow out too much, you're gonna get that orange banding because the heat from the scalp is gonna process that area first. So I'd rather keep the roots close to the scalp so it processes a little bit more evenly. I'm going to show you the little workspace and station that I have kind of set up. And I also, to prep my hair, have not washed it in a few days. So kind of just let some natural oils build up. And then I also straightened my hair today, just a little bit, ran the iron through it with some heat protectant because I, really want to keep the hair super neat as I'm sectioning the hair. That's been, one of the struggles is just kind of keeping the neatness, and my hair does tangle super easily. So I think having finer hair that's a little bit less crazy to work with will be beneficial for this. So I'm going to show you what I have for a workstation. Okay, so I am using the Schwarzkopf Blonde Me line. I have 7, 20, 30 developers, some spray bottles. I have some foil. I have my favorite Stop the Burn when I'm near the scalp. I also have a like a protection, kind of like an Olaplex step 1 that goes into the bleach. I have my bleach. I have a scale, so super awesome. Literally cost me $6 on Amazon. And I can put this on, and that bowl weighs 2 ounces. So I could be a little accurate in my measurements. A whisk, my makeshift balayage board out of styrofoam, in case I decide that I need to have a little support when I'm working through the back. A bunch of my tools, clips, gloves, towels, keeping everything just really super neat for later today. I'm gonna rummage through some toners and figure out what I want to use, but haven't come up with that plan yet. I also have a mirror that is directly behind me, and then I have a mirror that is in front of me. So that's what my workstation looks like, and wish me luck yet again. Thanks. I'm going to start with some hair sectioning, and then I will mix my products because we know it takes me 18 hours to section my hair, unfortunately. Hoping I'm gonna slowly get better at doing that. So, all right, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get started and enjoy. Like a mohawk section, and then I have the 2 on the sides of my head, and then I have lower quadrants in the back, upper quadrants in the back. I gotta bring this piece over. So yeah, and I don't ever know how to like tie these ones up, but the hair is like a little bit smoother, a little easier to section and work with, and I'm getting better at working in the mirror. So those are all pluses. All right, so I'm gonna start and mix up my bleach. I'm gonna do a 1-to-2 ratio, and that's it. When I began to add in the lightener to touch up the roots, I started in the perimeter of each section, being sure to saturate it while trying my best to avoid overlapping the lightener onto previously lightened areas, which, as you can imagine, is pretty tricky to do if you're doing it on yourself and relying on mirrors and everything is backwards. When I finished the perimeter, I began to slice through each section, adding a little bit to the top and bottom, and just kind of thoroughly making sure that I was using enough bleach. The sections were probably a little bit thick, but this part actually came out okay, so the technique of whatever I was doing seemed to work out. When I did reach the front of my head, I decided to use foils because I was still using just 7 volume and I needed it to go a little bit quicker. So I needed some heat to kind of help move the bleach along a little bit. And the foils took quite a bit of time, definitely not as long as this process did. And so I decided to stop when I finished the sides and was going to just do the top section in a different process so that way I could get this stuff off my hair. Before I did that, I did a super weak bleach bath. As you can see here, I added water, shampoo to 7 vol that's been sitting for a while and rinsed it out, and you'll see the result of it. Everything looks pretty lightened except for the top, which is the part I didn't touch. Yeah, so I was happy with the sectioning I did today. Remember, I didn't touch any of this top part. I did do the sides, which will need definitely some touch up. But I do like the process that I did where I broke it into 2 different parts, because what that allows me to do is not only do the top and kind of take my time and not feel like rushed because the back is processing so fast, but it allows me to also touch up and kind of look through the hair and find any spots that I missed, because there definitely are a bunch of spots, especially like the areas behind the ears and stuff. There's some dark roots in there. So anyways, I just wanted to show you what it looked like dry. Rinsed the bleach bath, kind of, rinsed out all of the toner that was in my hair. So that's nice because I just get a nice clean slate of how I want to tone the hair. But yeah, so stay tuned to me finishing the roots in 2 parts. Thanks, see ya. Okay, so I mixed my 1/2 ounce of bleach and a full ounce of the 7 vol. I like the 7 vol. It's safe. So what I began with first was adding bleach to any areas that needed to be touched up, including areas that were really dark so that could start to process. And then after I finished that, I had this brilliant idea that I was going to mohawk highlight the top of my head, thinking it would add sort of some dimension and lightness to the root. And yikes. Okay, so it looks promising, right? I think this is the worst we've gotten to. Look at the top, it was horrifying when I came out. But there are some highlights, so those worked. That's super dark. I don't know. Yikes. Are these tire stripes? I'm not really sure. Holy moly. All right, I'll be back. I gotta come up with a plan. So naturally, because I can't stop touching my hair, I decide to bust out the bleach again and go over any spot that is still dark. And in an attempt to make it look better, I went in with a root shadow and a toner for the ends to get rid of the yellow. And it doesn't even matter what I used because, spoiler alert, I ended up redoing it. But here's what it looked like. It looked really nice. It wasn't bad at all compared to the train wreck that had happened. But look at what it looked like in the morning. Look at that bright orange section. It's so horrifying, and I'm so upset because at this point I know I'm gonna have to do something else. All right, so I'm gonna mix an 8T and a 7N, and I'm gonna do three-quarters of an ounce of 8T because I want a little more blue to cancel the orange. I sectioned it into 2 parts so that way I can go down the entire root first. And then also add in some of that shadow root around the hairline edges. And then what I did is I began to slice through on a diagonal, adding that shadow root to the top and bottom. So it kind of would show some depth and dimension going into those areas. And then as I worked, I just kind of kept cutting into the hair with that diagonal, working my way towards the back, and then pulling the hair forward and just kind of adding in and blending that out. So I put 10 VV with a little bit of 9V and a little bit of 10N in here. I'm just gonna kind of put this through the ends a little bit. Not sure about this whole technique. I was worried that the root shadow was gonna touch other areas, but this is what it looks like rinsed out. I'm just combing it through. So here is the finished product. I definitely think it's a lot better than it was this morning. And famous last words, I'm gonna stop touching my hair. So anyways, yeah, it's a little bit dark. It'll be nicer when the tone kind of fades. It's kind of like double toned right now. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it though, for how scared I was yet again.